Hey everybody, John Bigot here. Good afternoon or good evening. Greetings from Chilton, Wisconsin. Chilton is located on Highway 57 and what is it? Oh, I can't remember this highway here, but yeah. Right now we're on 57 South. We are 29 miles north of Hardee's in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Well, there's a highway that goes from here to, holy smokies, look at that police, the city kitty sitting on the corner. I think we're good. I think he's reading a comic book. Nation 523 asked a question. Do I still talk to Pocket Change? No. Unfortunately, I lost his number. In fact, I don't communicate with any of WEL's employee, not even to my old driver manager, Travis. I don't know, it's just one of those things where You talk to them once in a while, and then pretty soon life gets in the way and things starts to fade, and like kind of like high school. The great nobody can deny the great times that are in high school. The graduation, there's like, oh, the emotion is going wild as if the world will end, and we're gonna hang out for the rest of our lives and all that. Pretty soon, lives change, people change, circumstances arise. Believe it or not, I think some of you, or a lot of you out there, probably have heard my story about friendship, that I was blessed to have 10 group of people or 9 group of people that are, we've been through since high school, college. All of us have married, have kids. We still, we pride ourselves to lasting throughout lifetime, and we thought we were, we're gonna be friends as long as we lived. And recently, over the years, I think that ideology is a little bit dying slowly. For one thing, I'm the only one that's here in the United States. Most of them are back home, and even themselves back there, they don't hang out as well as they used to. Certain bickering and busy with life. It's a few have moved to different places, different towns, and they become, they have their own new friends. I mean, granted that whenever we all get along, whenever we get together, it's almost like, well, we're back in high school. It doesn't take much to spark that friendship again, but it's certainly not as solid as it was when we were younger, I suppose. One of the things that I saw back in many years ago, when I was still watching MASH 4077, the story goes, as Colonel Potter, they were in a World War One, World War Two, and I think they were like, what? There were 5 of them back in Europe fighting the war against the Germans and all that stuff, and so the story goes that one night they all got banged up. They were held up in the chateau, and I think some of you may remember that episode. I can't remember what it was, but so anyway, they got trapped in the chateau for the whole week or something, and the story goes that in the chateau it was fully loaded of a couple cases of really good wine. And so they drank that like tomorrow wasn't going to end. They had their own little R&R. They were away from the war. And so they drank themselves silly. But the last bottle, they saved the last bottle of that wine. They managed to bring it back to the United States. And they made a pact that whoever survives the last of the 5 gets to drink that wine. And they did it all proper and legal. They hired a law firm to protect the bottle, keep track of the 5 friends. And so supposedly Colonel Potter was the last of the 5 that survived. And so this law firm, all the way from the United States, shipped this bottle all the way to Korea, to MASH 4077. And he was notified that he was the last surviving of the 5. He had his old uniform from back in the war. One of the things that stood out in that story was, well, the first toast he did was to the old friends, to the friends he had back in the war. And I'm trying to remember how that story goes. He summoned all the characters of MASH, Klinger, DJ, let's see, who else was there? Hot Lips. I don't know if Radar was there or not. But he made a toast that to all his old friends. He drank it, took the second shot, and he made a toast. He says, "To my new friends, who means ever more than now, because the old ones are gone. Now it's the new friends that really matters now." Certain kind of that story, I think it was. As important as it was for the old friends, it was more relative for the new friends, because the old ones are gone. And I guess in a certain sense, I have a lot of, I have some really deep love for my best friends back home. But life is in the way of that friendship for me to visit them. So I just pray that nothing will happen to any of them at this time, because, well, other than the fact I don't want them to die. But the fact is, we all die. But if one of them were to die, I wouldn't know what to do. I don't think I could afford to go home, and I would find that really devastating, not to be able to pay my last respect to any of them. really sure what my family are planning as far as where they're gonna shove me in. I used to dream of being shipped home, be buried next to my dad, you know, back in the island. But the more I really think about it, in my own experience, as far as with my dad goes, well, my dad is buried all the way to the Philippines in the island. And I miss him so much. I wish I could visit his grave, you know, on a regular basis. But then again, you know, even if I was to visit his grave, he's not really there. But there is that little human emotion that we gotta contend to. And in my own experience, I suppose it would have been comforting to be able to visit my dad's grave. And I think about my kids in that experience. I used to say, well, you gotta make sure you gotta ship me home and bury me next to your grandpa. But I realize it's up to them. Wherever they need my body for their closure and their healing, they got it, you know? It ain't gonna matter to me where they put me down. Welcome to Chilton, Wisconsin. Well, another aspect of that question is, are they going to be as sentimental as I am with my dad, or you know, teenagers could probably care less. It's a new generation and they may not make that a big deal to them. I don't know. But at least the option will be there, right? Oh, look at that Harley for sale. Well, if I was to die within less than 15 years, you know, my wife would be well taken care of, I suppose. We do have life insurance. But I think that was a 30-year deal thing. But that was like, what, 16 years ago, so $14 more years before that thing expires. Holy smokies, look at the time. Well, we'll catch you guys later. Sorry for the overtime. Yeah, didn't I say my last other video says see you at home? Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. Gotta be good here. And by the way, this segment is brought to you by Milk Biscuit. Guaranteed to whiten your teeth, soften your skin like butter, and make you think you're above average. Milk biscuit. Available at your grocery store. Proudly made in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Ha ha ha. Later.